Hello and welcome to the fix, and today we're going to have a look at this Hyundai IONIQ hybrid car. It's coming to me from another garage who had an attempt of repairing it. It's got a problem that the wipers are not working. So as you could see, it's come to me like this, with all the panels off of it, because they've replaced the stalk, the wiper control stalk. They've already replaced that, and it didn't fix the problem. Also, they've put in a second-hand or a pre-owned wiper motor into it already. So now we're gonna, try and find out what the fault is on it. If I switch on the ignition, start it up, if it was right. If you look there in the dash, if I switch on the wipers, it shows the wiper is there, right? So if I put it on, that's 0, that's number 2, and the wipers are not moving. So now we're going to have to find out what the fault is. First of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the wiper motor out and check at the plug there where the wiper motor goes on, that if we're getting any power to the plug. That's the first check I'm going to do. So let's go and undo the wiper motor. But first of all, I'm going to take the wiper arms off. It's a 14mm socket. If we just undo this, it's one off, and then the other one. Okay, and then that one's come off easily. That one's come off as well. Next thing I've got to do is take this cover off. So if I push down on these little pins here, so that should be, that's alright, that's come off, that clip. I think I've got one missing there. So the next one's over here. Well, and I think it's got one on the end. Clips off, and now we could, I think, pull this cover off. Else, just take these corners off. 1, 2. That's it. This covers off now. It's revealed the motor. I want to get a positive supply, so there's one in there in this fuse box. Undo this fuse box. Put my positive terminal off the probe there, and the negative, I suppose I could get. Yep. I'll just put it here. That's okay. Now we've got our probe connected. But now I want to disconnect this plug, the wiper plug. We're going to check for power in there now. Now let me go and switch on the ignition. I'll switch the wipers on to number 2, so the fastest range. Now let's see. Right, got negative there, and we've got a power supply there as well. Nothing on one of the terminals, which hasn't even got a wire there. So the 3 terminals here, and that one's got nothing on it, that one's got a negative, that one's got nothing on it, and got power and a neutral negative. So one of these wires, that must be the power supply. The bottom 2, the red and the blue, that's the negative, that's the positive, and these three must be either the speed control or one of them is the signal to switch it on. So now I think I'll have to get hold of a circuit diagram to see how this actually works and where the power supplies and stuff is coming from. But before I actually go and get the circuit diagram, I'm going to check this wiring loom. So I want to take it out of there. So if I undo the wiper motor, which is one 10mm bolt here, and one 10mm bolt over here. Okay, out. Then in there, there's a little, like a plug, pulls out like that. See that rubber grommet goes into that hole there. So now we've got the wiper motor out. Let's have a look into this plug. If I peel back, it looks like somebody's already cut it out before. I'll peel that back a bit more. Undo this tape. Yeah, look, looks like somebody's repaired the wiring before on it. Look, I think that's a joint there. I'll have to open it up. Let's strip this back a bit more. Okay, stripped it back to there. No. Yeah, it does look like somebody's done something to it. Just wonder how far back it seems to be all right there, but why was these? Let me have a look if they've actually been joint. Yeah, these wires have been now they've just been taped up, I think, where they've some reason they've stripped the wiring back. They must have just taped them up. Okay, now I think I'll have to get the diagram to check what's wrong with it. Okay, I managed to get hold of a circuit diagram for this Hyundai for the wipers. All the technical information and the circuit diagram was provided to me by Tim Stock, who runs a technical helpline here in the UK. So, having a look at this diagram now, if we look, it's got this unit here, P04, stated there, P04, and on the back here it says P04, fuse relay box 2, engine compartment. Looking for this P04 engine fuse box number 2, I can't find it. I found this one, which is P03 over here, P03 electric unit fuse box engine compartment, which is this one. So at the end I've worked out where this fuse box is. That fuse box is actually incorporated in here, in this fuse box. If you could look through here, this is like a sandwiched fuse box, and see that wiring loom coming at the bottom, and there's one at the top. The one at the top's going in here into this fuse box there, these two plugs, and that one at the bottom, right, I've followed the wiring from this wiper unit is going along the bottom there. You can't see it because there's not much light, but this is actually going along there and into there, and I think it's going in here. So that's why we can't find that fuse box, because it's incorporated with this. And how this system works is, if you look at this wiring diagram over here, in there we've got two relays, K09 and K09B. Now this relay switches on, and then it switches on K09B, and with that we've got the two wires that this relay switches. It's at high speed or low speed. If you have it on the yellow or the white, either way around, one's high speed and one's low speed, it sends power to this wires, that one and that yellow one. So just to see, to tell you that this is not working, just to prove that these relays inside that unit are not working, and these relays in there are like a control, they're like a multifunction control unit, like they're actually built into the unit. They're not relays you could pull out and change. So look, if I give this white wire live, let me switch the sound off, I'll give this white wire live, that should come on. See, the wiper's coming on now, yeah? And there again, if I give the yellow one live, if I just pierce it a little bit, see, if I give that live, this wiper comes on a lower speed. So now that we've found our problem with this car, it's this unit that's not working, the relays in here, but we cannot change them. So what we have to do to this, we have to change the whole fuse box there. We're going to have to take that one out and change it. I'm not going to, after having another look at this circuit diagram, I'm not going to take the fuse box out yet, because I've just noticed on here that we've got the these two wires, as I said, are going to the motor, the wiper motor, the yellow and the white, and then we put a power supply onto them, and then we operated the motor. But what supplies these relays, it's this unit here, the body control module. It supplies power to these two wires. I think that's a red or an orange, whatever it is, and the other one's this blue one. So now, if you can see here, A23, that's this unit here, which is no, that's the steering column module, that one, sorry. It's the A20. This is A20. This module is the A20, which is the A20, there it is, the body control module. And that's actually supplying that power, that relay there, and that one. So it's supplying them both power to them relays that operate the motor, the wiper motor. And what I've noticed here, I think that's 36, yes, and 37, that's actually a connector, C21, and C82. It's got 82 there, pin, so it's an 82 pin connector, which is in the A column. So which one is that? C21. Yeah, C21 connector is by the left hand A pillar. And yeah, so that's what we're going to have to look into now. If we take off the cover on the A pillar and we find this connector, them two wires are going through this connector. So from there, we don't have to look for the body control module unless we find it faulty. Then we'll have to find that body control module. But for now, we could take this connector off and check them two wiring, the wiring to there, if we're getting power to it. Okay, now I'm going to take off this A pillar. So if I just pull this rubber away here, and I think this just unclips. Right, look, it's got a screw there, so I'm going to have to undo that Phillips screw. Now I think we could slide that out, maybe. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Yep, there seems to be a connector here. Brilliant. Now, right, just undo this connector. That's the airbag there. Okay. Now I've got to plug this back in. Shoot in a few times in case it's not getting a good connection. Right, now I'm just going to switch on the ignition and check if this wiper's coming on. No, it's still not coming on. So now we've got to find the two wires in here and see if we're actually getting power. Okay, now I'm looking for these two wires, which is this wire here, which is a blue with a black stripe, and this wire here, red and a white stripe. And according to this diagram, it should be in this plug that we've undone, this plug here, but I can't find them wires in that plug, so this diagram must be a bit wrong. And it's going to the body control module, this, which is, if you look on our diagram, A20 is the body control module, so that's A20. So now what I'm going to do, because I can't find the wires in there, I'm going to take out the body control module, which I think is somewhere behind there, so we're going to undo that in a minute, and check the outputs from the body control module to these two wires. So I'll get on with that now. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take this cover off underneath, which has these clips. I think you just pull them forward or back. Let me just have a look. Nice, forward. Pull them towards yourself. And that last one. Leave that down there, that's okay. And I think this is the body control module here. Plug that back in there. Yeah, this looks like the body control module. It's got a bolt there, so if I do that 10mm bolt, okay, that one's undone. So that must have another bolt. So let's undo this. Okay. Now, if you look over here, this is actually the stopper for this glove box. So if we undo that, pull that out, yeah, that one comes out there, and then one on this side. And undo that, and then this one should drop down. It's got all this stuff in it. So let me just take all this stuff out and run this in the back for now. Alright, that's out there, so let's get a bit of light in there. Okay, I can see the other bolt now. Let me see, there's the other bolt there. Okay, that's one bolt out. Now I could shut this again, and if we go underneath, I'm going to pull out the body control module, push it back so that stud comes out of there. It's a bit fiddly getting it out, but okay. this out now. There's all the plugs. So now we're looking for a red wire and a blue wire with a black stripe. Hang on a minute, is that? Yep, that looks like the ones. And according to the diagram, there's pin 36 and pin 37 next to each other. Yep, that one's red, the black stripe, and that one's blue with the red stripe. So I think that's the wires we're looking for. Now, I just got to check if we got voltage coming to them when we switch the wipers on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch the wipers onto number 1. If I switch the ignition on and switch that on to number 1 there. Right, now we're going to measure the voltage. I won't measure the voltage with anything coming out, so I'll get my probe in there. A minute. Yep, it's on. Right, no voltage in that one. Yep, there's 12 volts in that. Now, if you could switch off the wiper, let's see if the voltage goes. Yep, switched it off, now it's gone. Can you put it onto number 2 now? That's switched back on. Put it onto number 2. Up. Yep, okay. Now, we put it onto number 2, and I'll put it in that blue wire. Can you switch the wiper on? Okay, now switch it on to number 2. Yep, see, that one comes on number 2, and the other one, you can see that's on now, yeah, and that's the wiper. It's not on there, not now. Now, if you go there, the tone changes, and that's got 12 volts. You can see that's got 12 volts. So if I switch the wiper off, see, that's gone off. So that means our power from the body control module is coming. So them 2 wires that I'm going to show you on the diagram, these 2 wires, this one and that one, the blue one and the red one, are actually giving power from the body control module to that circuit there, which is the 2 relays that operate our wiper. But that is inbuilt within the fuse box in the engine. So now what we've got to check is if we're getting the power actually at the fuse box, at them relays. If we're getting power to these to the relays, yeah, that means that the fault is in the relays or the fuse box. That's what the fault is. So now we're going to take out the fuse box. Okay, first of all, what I'm going to do, this is under the back seat on the driver's side. If I take this panel off, just for safety reasons, we're going to take this isolator off for the hybrid batteries, the high voltage batteries. So we've taken them out now, we've disconnected them out of the circuit. That's a safety measure. Right, I'm going to have to take this fuse box off now. We've isolated the high voltage battery. In this, I can't find the auxiliary battery, the 12 volt battery, the normal one, because in some of the cars, they incorporate that with the high voltage battery. They section off some of the cells from it and give it 14 volts going to here. It acts like a normal 12 volt battery. So because I can't find the battery, what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo these. I'm going to put rubber around them and tape them up so they don't touch anywhere. That's the easiest way I could find to take this off quickly. Otherwise, I'll have to spend hours undoing all the plates and everything in the main battery. All right, and undo this 10mm bolt. That there. Yeah, see that cable's got voltage on it still. That's the 12 volts coming out. Alright, now I'm going to put a rubber glove around this, wrap it a few times, and then just put some tape on it. Hopefully now that won't touch anywhere. If I just move that out of the way there. Now I've got to undo this one. This one's got a clamp on it there. 1 second, let me get something to undo that. Right, I've got to put these tabs out and pull it at the same time. There's some around here, some around the back as well, and this side. Okay. One here. Yeah. A few boxes off. Right, I think this must be the fuse box, and in there must be the circuitry, so let me try and take this off. We've got to put these clips back and lift it a bit. Like that. Same on this side. Okay, let's come out now. So I'm going to have to unplug these plugs. So if I just put that back and press on that, and that's one's come out. Press on that and push this out, and then press on that, that's out. Yeah, this must be the unit. Now let's have a look for them two wires. Yeah, here we go. See that wire? Blue with a black stripe, and red. Yep, that's got a black stripe as well, the red one. See it from there? So that means, I don't know how I'm going to test this now, because you've got to connect everything up, but because we know that the power's coming out of the wire there, I mean out of the body control module, we're getting both the powers to these wires. All we've got to check is if the wiring's okay. That's the only thing we can check, so I'm going to do that with a meter. I'll check that. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I've just plugged this back in, because I think we could get to it without taking the fuse box off, so I'll leave that there, and I'm going to put the fuse back together again. So if I just click this into the base, clicked in that side, clipped in on this side as well. Just move that a bit. That's it, that's clipped in. Just check. That ball clipped in there. Clipped in at the back as well. Nope, not clipped in there quite yet. But yep, it's clipped in there. I've clipped it all back together, so I'm going to put, oh no, these are the joints for that. These, okay. I'll put this all back on because it's raining and I want to get this connected again, so I could do up the windows and stuff and close the car, because now we know we could get to the part by just pulling it out, because I'm going to leave that bit loose. Just that one in. Not quite gone in, but that's not going in straight. Just going to put this one in there. Because it's raining quite fast, I think I better put these in a bit later on. I'm just going to connect up the wire so I could get the car running again. Right, so now pull this tape off. that one back in. And now at least I can close the car up for now and then get back to it later and then check them 2 wires. Okay, now I was wondering how I was going to check the circuit. I was just going to check the continuity of these 2 wires, this blue with the black stripe and red with the white stripe wires to the body control module. I was going to check the continuity from them because I didn't have anything connected. But now I've got everything connected, I can actually test them. Like what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and switch on the wipers onto speed 1 first, and then we're going to check one of these wires if it's getting voltage to it, and if it is, that means our circuit from the body control module to here is working. But if we don't get no voltage here, that means there's a problem in between this and the body control module. But if it is working, our circuit as it should do, if we're getting voltage here to these 2 wires, when we switch on the wipers, like we can switch it on to speed 1, and then one of them should give you 12 volts, and when we switch it on to speed 2, then the other one should get voltage, and that'll test our circuit. So let me go and switch it on to speed 1. Right, that's on speed 1 now. Now I'm going to check which one of these wires has got voltage on it. Bit short on space there, so all right. Right, now this is the red wire with the black stripe. It's got 12 volts coming to it. Now if I go and switch it off, that should have no voltage, and that means that circuit is working. Let me go and switch it off. That's back on. Now if I check, yep, you see that? It's got no voltage, so that circuit is working. Then that's speed 1. So now I'm going to check this one, which is the blue one. If I could get to it. Yep, that's got no voltage at the moment, but if I go and switch it on to speed 2, that should have 12 volts. Okay, that's on speed 2 now. See, that's got voltage now. So that just proves that our circuit from the stalk, the wiper stalk, to the body control module, and then to this unit here is all okay. So that means that them 2 relays that I showed you on the circuit diagram, I think it was the KO something and the KO something 2 relays, are not working in this unit. So now what we're going to have to do is replace this unit. I don't know if you could get this separately or it comes as a whole fuse box. I'm just going to order that now, and then once I've ordered it, I'll put it back in there. But in the meantime, I'm just going to put the rest of the car, the panels, back in the car, and when I get this unit, we'll plug it in and then see the wiper should be working, because from what we found out now, all the circuit is complete down to here, so this has got to be the fault. All right, so I've managed to get this part online. It's a genuine Hyundai part. When I first phoned up the dealers and I asked them about that relay unit for the wipers, they told me that they didn't have anything like that and it wasn't even on their diagrams. and they didn't tell me I could get hold of this part. Off chance, I put the part number in, and I bought this online, and it's a genuine Hyundai part. So now we're going to install this. Look, it's the right part, as you can see, exactly the same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just take this off. And remember, we've got these little clips here. We've got to push them away like that and prise that up. The same in here, put them in between there and push them up. Okay, and now got to unclip these plugs. This one, you just push that in and unclip it. That one, you pull out the little black tag, push that in and unclip it. And same with this one, push out the black tag and unclip it. Right, that one over there. And we're just going to click that in, push the black tag in. Push that in, push the black tag in. And then that in. Push this wiring back in there, slot this into place and plug that in. Now the moment of truth. I'm going to turn on the ignition and then put the wipers on. Wow, we've got the wipers working now. That's intermittent speed. That's speed 1. That's speed 2. And that's off. See, now our wipers are working. That's why I'm saying it's very, very important to always test, because the previous garage attempted to repair this, they didn't test anything, so they ended up buying a new wiper motor, and also they bought a new complete stalk, which was a complete waste of time and money, because if they had tested something, if they've tested the circuits or the stuff, then they would have known what's wrong with it, and they needlessly bought them parts. So that's why I say, don't guess, always test. And now that we've repaired the wipers, and we did get the part, and it was a main dealer part, it was available, but obviously, you know, when I asked the dealers and everything, they didn't give me any information about it, and I couldn't find that from anywhere else where we could get the part from. So I ended up putting the part number online. We managed to get the part that we slotted into the fuse box, so we didn't need to get the whole fuse box. And now that the wipers have been repaired, and you haven't done already, that is subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and also click the bell icon so you could get all the future videos of the fix. And remember, don't jinx it, fix it.